What is going on, folks? Mike Singer from Blue and Gold here with a update on Notre Dame in the transfer portal. Folks, I just want to mention at the top of this video, I'm recording this Tuesday around noon Eastern time, so I'm just talking about the information that has come out so far. So depending on when you're watching this, there might be more news to come out with Notre Dame in the transfer portal, whether that be incomings or outgoings. So make sure you lock into blueandgold.com for the latest information. Folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video to help support what we're doing here at Blue and Gold, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our content covering Notre Dame football and recruiting. Definitely a big item for Notre Dame in the portal here recently was junior quarterback Drew Pine entering the transfer portal. He announced the news on Friday and then officially entered it on Monday. And here's what Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman had to say regarding it. We had a conversation this week, myself and Drew, as well as many other players we have on our team, in terms of our intentions, my intentions into certain positions, looking for transfers. I'm always looking for ways to enhance our roster. I always want to be upfront and honest, and I was with Drew. I told him that we would possibly look at taking a transfer quarterback, and folks, Notre Dame is definitely looking at taking a transfer quarterback. We're hearing lots of rumblings. We'll get to that a little bit later in this video. But look, in the 2021 season, Notre Dame brings in Jack Cohn to start, and then you have Tyler Buckner playing, and Drew Pine is the number 3 guy. This season, Tyler Buckner gets to start. Drew Pine's the number 2 guy. For it being 3 years in a row for Pine to be the backup, it's just not something he wanted to do, and he has entered the portal, and it'll be interesting to see where Pine ends up. He definitely wasn't the only transfer for Notre Dame. Freshman cornerback Jaden Bellamy also entering the portal, 5'11", 175-pounder from Bergen Catholic in New Jersey, the same high school that produced current freshman and rising sophomore quarterback Steve Angeli. Had offers from the likes of Clemson, Ohio State, Penn State, Rutgers coming out of high school, but things just weren't working out for him, and he has entered the portal, as well as Osita Ekwonu, defensive end, Viper, linebacker for Notre Dame, who will enter the portal as a grad student with 2 years of eligibility. Ekwonu's lone appearance on defense for Notre Dame was against Boston College. Played a little bit on special teams, but only has played in 16 games in his Notre Dame career per Blue and Gold. So a guy who has just really, look, he's leaving Notre Dame with his degree. That's a really important part. But again, just not really getting on the field. So he's another guy entering the portal. So as I record this video, Notre Dame has had 3 players enter the transfer portal, but definitely you will see more players from Notre Dame's roster enter that transfer portal. And now let's take a look at some potential incomings from the transfer portal. Notre Dame offered a pair of wide receivers on Monday, one of them being Keegan Johnson, who will be a rising junior, 6'1", 194 pounds. Really emerged as a freshman at Iowa, catching 18 passes for 352 yards and 2 touchdowns, but battled injuries throughout his sophomore season. So someone who is entering the portal now, and obviously as an undergrad, and Notre Dame did recruit him a couple years ago. He's committed to Iowa, and Notre Dame didn't decide to offer him, but they have now. Folks, Johnson is an undergrad, so we're seeing Notre Dame get more aggressive, not just taking graduate transfers, but taking undergrads as well. And they also offer Dante Cephas, 6'1", 186-pound pass catcher from Pittsburgh. Now, we do believe that he would be a graduate transfer. His career numbers from Kent State: 145 receptions for 2,139 yards, and 12 touchdowns. So a productive player this past season, catching 48 passes for 744 yards and 3 scores. Look more productive in his junior season, going over 1,000 yards, but played 5 more games in 2021 than he did in 2022. So could be a nice experience, instant impact if Notre Dame is able to land this player here. And folks, I did want to mention the quarterback position. If you just are on Twitter, keep it or at On3 and looking at the transfer portal, there is so many good quality quarterbacks entering the portal. And as we mentioned, with Pine leaving, um, it's fully expected that Notre Dame will take a transfer portal. Not that Pine leaving is making that decision. If Pine were to stay, we still think that Notre Dame would have taken a portal quarterback. And Hudson Card is someone who we understand that Notre Dame is in contact with, and should be seeing him face to face in the near future. You might remember seeing him in that Texas Alabama game that the Crimson Tide um, just eked out a victory in, but Card replaced Quinn Ewers in that game and completed 14 of 22 passes for 158 yards, and filled in admirably as Ewers was out for a few games. But yeah, looked to have a pretty good season. When he was able to come in the game. Look at that West Virginia game: 21 of 27 for 303 yards and 3 touchdowns. So it's definitely someone to keep an eye on. 6 touchdowns to 1 pick in limited action this past season. Yeah, folks. So Hudson Card, a guy to keep an eye on. You also got to think Devin Leary from NC State. But again, so many quarterbacks are in the portal right now, folks. So definitely tons of guys for Notre Dame to keep an eye on. But Hudson Card is one we're tracking for sure. We've written a good bit about Braden Fiskey at Blue and Gold. He visited Notre Dame this past weekend, an interior defensive line transfer, a 1-year rental kind of guy from Western Michigan. Again, visited this past weekend, got the offer. We interviewed him at Blue and Gold. You can find the story on our website, but Notre Dame looking to bolster its interior defensive line. And folks, last but certainly not least, Dasan McCullough. Yep, the son of Notre Dame running backs coach Dylan McCullough entered the transfer portal. And we talked earlier about Notre Dame being more aggressive with undergrads. Well, he's certainly one because he is just coming off of his freshman season, and it was a darn good one at Indiana, of course, the school that his father was coaching at. 49 tackles, 6.5 of those for loss, 4 sacks, a few quarterback hurries. I mean, this would be the ideal Viper for Notre Dame to take. And you don't get Keon Keeley in this 2023 class. Well, if you can go get Dasan McCullough from the transfer portal, that'll do. Because I mean, he was a highly ranked prospect, top 100 player coming out of high school, and yeah, you would have to think that with him being a coach's son, it might be a little bit easier to get him into school at Notre Dame, but we'll just have to see. So a little bit more speculation there, but again, it would just make a lot of sense for Notre Dame to go get Dasan McCullough. So that's the update for Notre Dame in the transfer portal as of right now. Again, recording this Tuesday at noon. So lock in at blueandgold.com and as well as our YouTube channel here for all the latest updates. Folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel for all of our content. Appreciate you folks, and we'll catch you next time.